Hello guys, it's Ramos here, and Senna just came out recently and I finally made it back to plat thanks to a lot of S games with her and 70% win rate. Haven't been plat since season 6 and I played less games this year than the last few. And already we got the next champion announced. APHELIOS, the weapon of the faithful. He's a marksman from Targon and he's the fate guy announced in the October roadmap, where they said that the faithful shall be rewarded and that he sacrificed something. A marksman raised with the purpose to protect the fate from those who stand in the sun. Doesn't everyone stand in the sun? Mastering diverse weapons of fate, swapping through them like cycles of the moon with nothing but the one lone voice. And in the image we had this. In his short bio it says that he's emerging from moonlight's shadow with weapons drawn. He kills the enemies of fate in brooding silence, speaking only through the certainty of his aim and the firing of each gun. Though fueled by a poison that renders him mute, he is guided by his sister Alun in her distant temple sanctuary, from where she pushes an arsenal of moonstone weapons into his hands, and that APHELIOS will never be alone. So he won't be able to talk, or will he talk in his mind with his sister only, but won't be able to interact with other champions, or maybe her sister will talk, we'll see. And the ghost from behind him is definitely his sister, that helps him with his weapons. He'll probably have multiple switches of weapons and abilities like Jace, but not just two forms, and his sister will come and drop new weapons to warn him. I wonder if it's his sister that he sacrificed and that's why she's a ghost now. Let's check the long bio as well, but before we continue, this video is sponsored by eAdvantage. eAdvantage is a cheaper alternative to energy drinks in the form of healthy approved pills that give you in real life buffs, making you play better, focus easier, increase your reaction times, and give you a 2% damage boost in every game you play. I use them when I have long days of editing, or when I want to grind ranked or play WoW all day, and they really make me feel awesome. My favorite effect that I get from them is that I start to see better and focus easier on every detail. Check the link in the description and use my code for a 13% discount. Alright, now let's get to his full bio and more speculations. Looks like this champion is designed by Certainty, which is the guy that made the reworked Akali and also made Yasuo and Kalista and Zoe and lots of interesting champions, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Now let's get to his full bio. So, the moon looms over the towering slopes of Mount Targon, so he's from Mount Targon. Distant, yet impossibly close. Born during a rare lunar convergence when the physical moon was eclipsed by its reflection in the spirit realm, so he's coming from the Shadowlands. APHELIOS and his twin sister Alun were celebrated as children of destiny by those of Targon's lunary faith, so he's a lunar champion like Diana in a way. Mirroring the celestial, and Alun might be, reference to Elun, which is moon, which is also the moon goddess in WoW, so Alun, Elun, you get it, moon goddess, something. Mirroring the celestial events that heralded their birth, the two children knew they had been marked by fate. APHELIOS physically gifted with the moon of stone, so maybe those were that necklace ball thingies in the image. And Alun magically, like its spiritual reflection. Zealously devout, they grew up within a fate of mystery, reflection and discovery, and embraced darkness not just out of belief, but as the only thing that could keep them safe. The Solari who ruled Targon considered the Lunary heretics, because they were lunatics, driving them into hiding until most forgot the Lunary even existed. The Lunary were left to the shadows, dwelling in temples and caves far from the Solaris sight. The pressure to be exemplary weighed heavily upon APHELIOS. He practiced tirelessly with mythical moonstone blades, so he has moonstone blades, spilling his own blood in training so he could spill that of the others to protect the fate. Intense and vulnerable, he bonded deeply with his sister in lieu of any other friendships. While APHELIOS was sent on increasingly dangerous missions to protect the Lunary, Alun trained separately as a seer, using her luminous magic to reveal hidden pathways and truths by the moon's light. In time, her tasks required her to leave the temple where they were raised. Without Alun, APHELIOS' fate wavered. So let's see if he actually sacrifices her, or if she can, do astral projection and come out of her body and go help him in her spirit form. Desperate for purpose, he undertook a ceremonial journey into darkness where Lunary were said to discover their paths, their orbits. He followed the moon's lights to a pool where rare noctum flowers bloomed beneath the water's surface. Though poisonous, so that's how he lost his voice. The flowers could be distilled into a liquid that opened him to the knight's power. So he drank that thing, became more powerful, but he couldn't speak anymore. Drinking the Nocturne's essence, Aphelios felt so much pain that it numbed him to everything else. Soon after, an ancient temple, the Marus Omeganum, began to come into phase from the spirit realm for the first time in centuries. Lunari from across the mountain gathered, emerging from hiding to witness the balance of power shift as celestial cycles in the heavens turn. The fortress accepted only one occupant, gifted in magic each time it appeared. This time it would be Alun, her orbit guiding her to the temple. Aphelios, usually asking for nothing, requested to attend the event. But as the fortress passed through the veil in the luminous display of magic, a harsher radiance filled the night. Somehow, the Lunari had been discovered even as the celestial cycles turned in their favor. An army of Solari. So you got the Lunari and the Solari. The Solari are probably the guys that Leona is part of, you know. An army of Solari descended upon them. All seemed lost, the Solari purging the Lunari heresy with fire and steel. Even Aphelios was beaten, his moonstone blades shattered on the ground, blood spilling from his lips as he reached for the Noctum. But as the battle raged, Alun traveled deeper into the temple, and when she reached its heart, her full potential unlocked. Through the Noctum, Aphelios could feel Alun's power embrace him, and he could hear her voice. So, yes, we're going to hear her voice in-game as well, probably. So we're not going to have his voice lines, we're going to have her voice lines, or maybe he talks in his head with her. With a whisper, she pushed magic into his hands, a replacement for the blades, solidifying into Moonstone. So yes, she will be able to give him weapons in her spirit form. Like the Moon of Stone and his spiritual reflection, Aphelios' skill and Alun's magic converged. Those Solari would not live to see the sun again. So that's why they're referring, because the sun, not everyone that's sitting in the sun, you know, protects the fate from those sitting in the sun. He's referring to the Solari, not, you know, everyone apart from vampires. As her power flared, Alun pushed the temple and herself within back into the spirit realm. Oh, so she remained in the spirit realm, where it would remain safe from the Solari. From inside, amplified by the temple's focusing power, Alun, I keep saying Alun, was able to project her magic anywhere so long as it found a focus. Like the poison coursing through Aphelios' veins. So she keeps him alive because he's poisoned, but she's helping him. So he's in eternal agony, but he's becoming powerful because of the poison, kinda like Bane. But he also has a ghost sister that comes and gives him weapons. Nice family. Only now did they understand their destiny. Aphelios would hollow himself out with pain. See, I told you he's in pain. But would become a conduit of the moon's power. See, I told him become powerful. Alun would live alone, isolated in her fortress, but she would guide her brother. See, I told you he has a dead ghost sister that helps him. Able to see through his eyes. Nice. So they share eyes. So he cannot really masturbate because his sister's gonna watch him every time. Okay, so together they would be the weapon the Lunari needed, bound by pain and sacrifice. Only apart could they be together, their souls brushing across the veil, distant yet impossibly close, converging into something they could not understand. To protect the survivors of the attack who retreated back into the shadows of the mountain, Aphelios' training as an assassin, so he's a marksman assassin, has been given reach by Alun's magic. His blades, maybe he's going to be a melee AD carry. His blades, now an arsenal of mystical weapons perfected by Alun over the course of many missions together. Now that the power balance of Targon is shifting, and the Solari know the Lunari still endure, Aphelios and Alun are needed more than ever. So now that they are balanced, they're joining league. Alright, so that's pretty much his story. Sounds amazing. We're going to see what he's going to be able to do. Maybe he's going to be a melee AD carry, you know, melee marksman. Since, you know, in that splash art we have a blade that doesn't look like it's shooting rays through it, but maybe he has the power of the moon, you know, like a balanced druid, and he shoots lasers or arcane magic. We'll see, but definitely he's going to have a full arsenal of different weapons that his sister will grant him. Sounds pretty interesting. He seems pretty cool. He looks like Sasuke. Interesting that he's not going to be able to talk though, so we'll see if he talks or his sister talks. And you see that on his right arm, that bracer from the splash art with the lunar balls. Alright, that's pretty much it for now. I don't know if it's going to be added today in the patch. That would be very soon after Senna, but we'll see. Let me know what you think about him. There was another hidden code in this one, and soon we're going to get the Akali true damage codes. Again, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe or I will eat your nose and throw you to the moon. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.